The Awakening of the Chosen.
Just picture for a second, selected. How would you respond if every heartbeat reflects the divine summons to a higher goal? Gabriel here is his guide over the vast seas of spiritual mystery. Today, we are invited to a topic that echoes throughout eternity and is very vital for our quest for spiritual harmony and significance. This goes beyond a video. This doorway is meant to touch your spirit. It is an invitation sent from the heavens. You are here for reasons incomprehensible to humans. Though it was not your will, you arrived to the brink of this great discovery by a supernatural voice. And let me say straightforwardly, this message is not meant for every soul who wanders the planet. Those who, like you, have sensitive spiritual ears and hearts open to accept the most profound truths should save this information. Feel the urgency in the air, as if the Holy Spirit is rattling the windows of time from winds of change. Together, we reveal this enigma. Nevertheless, neglecting this message might be a spiritual omission with permanent consequences. Right now, you are getting a key to open a fresh degree of spiritual awareness and liberation. Selected nobility, I dare you to add your own voice to these dialogues. If you have previously experienced this restlessness, that spiritual pulse vibrating in your body should be shared in the comments. And when you like this video, realize that a divine reason guided you to this material and join us in line with this summons. About to launch the Hidden Knowledge Portal, this path only starts. Stay strong. The next insight about a promise of change coming to show up in your life will impact your soul even more. You are going to learn a phenomena right now that maintains the key to release your soul. This is not a disclosure of facts alone. It is a spiritual mystery, meticulously hidden from human view. Just a few, the really selected, can identify it. Imagine a tearing curtain exposing what has always been concealed, a reality that alters everything you know. Now echoing over the globe is a farewell to come. Still, it is a profound movement in the webs of its spiritual destiny, not a typical goodbye. We are discussing a farewell that turns into a change guided by the God itself. Consider the ground that welcomes a fresh seed. Breaking the shell is essential to provide space for flower development. For a selected one, this phenomena of the changing farewell shows itself as restlessness, closing cycles, and new doors opening themselves. It is like a breeze blowing over a field, lifting leaves and exposing the virgin soil bottom ready for fresh growing seeds. Likewise, you are invited to say goodbye to stages, people, and norms that do not speak to your own self and release what no longer serves. Reflect a moment. How often have you been compelled to let go, but emotional connection has anchored you in your soul? Maybe during lonely moments you have glanced back, asking yourself whether it is time to accept the new or go on. Your experience at last finds a justification in this message. This is not just a loss, but also a means of making place for the divine to operate. Ignoring this insight means deciding to remain caught in an outdated energy-based stagnation cycle. For its development, it is essential to find and welcome this farewell as a necessary component of its road. Accepting the change and realizing time is now can help you to reopen your spiritual consciousness and find clarity about your goal. Let us so conclude this time with a promise. The road of knowledge and illumination starts with this realization. This is your call, your opportunity to realize the next degree of your existence. As we go in our spiritual exploitation, dip even more, transcending to grasp and welcome the following block. Your soul is already on motion. This is simply the start of a transforming trip. Now you are on the brink of a spiritual doorway where the disclosure of the divine farewell expands like a mother's womb, ready to deliver a new age of consciousness. Though at first look a complicated riddle, this phenomena is really one of the main cornerstones of your spiritual development. It not only changes viewpoints but also rejuvenates the connection one has with the cosmos and her own self. We will delve deeply in the currents of this great revelation in this hallowed area of knowledge. Consider each farewell as a door closing just to let another, brighter, unknown scene of spiritual development to emerge before you. This is the cry of the selected ones, a faint movement of the universe urging us to abandon the former shells and welcome the new one just waiting for us. See your life as a flowing river bearing leaves of ancient memories and experiences, serpenting past hills and valleys. The divine goodbye is the moment the river reaches the sea, a site of confluence and expansion where all you have ever gone to join, what you are becoming in. Hence, as you attracted the sea to new horizons, you felt its pressure. Think back on how this reality came out in your everyday life, maybe in cycles that appeared to be repeated until you identified the pattern and let the past go to forward. Maybe at periods of great transformation. Resist this by staying in stillness, therefore choking the strong flow of life-seeking direction. Knowing the heavenly farewell helps one to realize that every end offers fresh beginnings. And so, awaiting the scriptures, keep in mind the history of the Red Sea crossing, where the road only opened in the trust of a bigger purpose behind the past. The selected nobleman, you, should be permanent with your thoughts, as in the following few moments we will highlight the most methods of your conscience, thus revealing spiritual processes that not only explain but also empower your path of divine self-realization and connection. Every farewell we go through promises change. None of your road is wasted. Sacred farewells reflecting the need of development and rejuvenation define the spiritual journey of the selected ones. Imagine yourself walking along a wooded trail where leaves drop to let sunshine feed newly born life. Every farewell life demands is not just a termination, but also a portal to a lit road destiny has laid ahead. How many times in your path have you been compelled to let go of a circumstance, an attitude, maybe even a relationship, yet held back? Examine your life and notice the times when the circumstance appeared to call for a metamorphosis. The phenomena of the divine farewell that operates quietly transforms difficulties into chances for spiritual renewal. Every stride you're getting closer to revealing the layers of your higher self concealed. This metamorphosis is like sailing to the drift, which at first shakes under the waves of doubt, but soon finds the solid path led by the lighthouse of intuition and goal. Letting go what no longer fulfills its purpose helps the soul of the selected grow on this trajectory. This lesson speaks to the requirement of space to allow the benefit of development, much like with Holy Scripture, where fresh wines are spoken in other wines. Ignoring this fact is like living through winter even if spring is already hinted at. A soul who hangs to the past and rejects farewell ends up stifling his own dreams. Trapped in grief cycles, she overlooks the possibility of new phases in which the knowledge gained from experience and deliberate renouncing of past events. Conversely, knowing this fact allows the selected one to break free from the codes his fate has allotted him. Accepting farewell as part of the blossoming process helps the soul to grow rich to welcome the fresh. Consider yourself as the sculptor revealing the shape that has always been there by cutting off the extra stone. Letting yourself uncover your actual nature can help you to design your life. I ask you right now to really consider what in your life need this farewell so the new one may come. As you handle this reality, feel the space opening in your heart. Prepare yourself to untangle the next phase of the trip. Our following phase will look at the processes you might use to implement this strong revelation and at last welcome the whole metamorphosis it presents. You start to see the intricacy of this event in more subdued levels of spiritual knowledge as we descend further into the seas of the revelation of the divine farewell. This farewell is more than just an occasion. It's a cosmic dance, rearranging the energy surrounding it so that fresh, better standards and vibrations can replace them. Imagine for a minute your life as a complex tapestry where every thread stands for memories, relationships, and events. Goodbye is like Master Weaver, who chooses to cut old wires to weave new, producing a more beautiful and important creation. In your experiences, how many times have you found yourself in the center of this fabric, clutching wires you needed to let go so the greater pattern of your life may show itself? This level of development in knowledge gives a great decision. Look past first pain and realize the farewell as a means to match the greater goal than the cosmos provides. We realize that this is an invitation of the Spirit to realign us to our actual mission when we realize that events or persons are ready for us. Nature seemed to be teaching us through the seasons. There is no anxiety or opposition in the autumn as the leaves fall. Instead, there is a natural cycle of getting ready for the spring rejuvenation. Therefore, we also have to choose when to release, knowing that while releasing a period of blooming approaches. Think back now for the times in your life when this fact showed itself. Where do you think anything needs to be changed to allow a new stage to blossom? Remembering that occasionally not noticing the signal might keep the selected one caught in an extended winter of inertia. But when you accept the invitation to the divine farewell, your life takes other hues, increasing your vibrational frequency and unlocking doors that were invisible before. Thus, in the next years, we will get ready to disentangle the efficient systems that enable and support this spiritual transformation, thus enabling you to travel confidently and clearly along the road of spiritual development. Every farewell deliberately chosen is a step towards a larger horizon, when spirit liberation becomes physical. A spiritual dance is constantly in action within the heart of the selected, guiding it over the deep sea of the inner change and beyond. These heavenly systems guide and protect, thus organizing the road towards actual emancipation. The spiritual process reacts to a cosmic and subtle order that coordinates every element of your life, just as the tides stand and withdraw to the command of the moon. Let us start with the inner revelation, the initial phase of this metamorphosis, wherein the truth starts to shine on what was formerly in the shadows. Here, the heart and intellect of the selected one are pushed to face their inner reality. The sensation is like a gentle light breaking through in a dark room to expose worn-out ideas and skeleton of old habits. At this time, considering the words that tell not to follow the pattern of this world, but rather be changed by the regeneration of the mind, might provide consolation and perspective. The second step, the cleansing of the spirit, is like the sculptural construction wherein all superfluous elements are eliminated, thereby exposing the actual shape. See yourself as gross gold being polished by a strong fire furnace. This is the phase in which emotional blockages and past connection are burnt to allow fresh purity. Emotions surface on the skin. Conquering offers lightness and clarity not previously thought possible. The selected one shows up as a rejuvenated eagle in the third stage, the spiritual rebirth, after a great change. Your relationship with the divine becomes more strong, and spiritual talents start to blossom clearly in your life. Now the selected one wakes up with a fresh force, like a pastor who discovered his vanished herd. This is the moment to stroll by faith, knowing the road has been set for you. You are realizing this process in your life if you have come across challenging choices when the urge to let go dominates. Maybe, in the middle of turmoil, you're also seeking clarity and healing, just as Bartimaeus called out for vision. Though it is not a simple road, it is the only one with actual illumination. Ignoring these appeals is similar to standing water that loses its purity and stagnate. Ignoring this fact might prolong needless suffering and cause the chosen one to be being repeatedly disappointed. Now you have to open your eyes and welcome the change you are seeing on your road to escape the stagnant destiny. Here, every action made reflects the divine great, and the imperative is not more evident. Right now, the weather is this. Accepting its evolutionary processes not only fulfills your holy right, but also your job. We will keep breaking down what this implies for the life cycle you're going to encounter in the following phase. Very precisely, every component of this huge spiritual jigsaw will fit to expose the amazing image constantly in creation. Deeper into the great domain of the spiritual mechanisms of the divine goodbye, we discover that they are not only abstract forces, but also physical ones that mold their path and prepare the ground for their development. These systems are like pillars of change, allowing you selected to walk with integrity and goal. The clarity of aim is the first mechanism we come across. This is the turning point in everything. Set up a time of silence in your everyday life to really clarify your objectives to let go, therefore lighting the inner torch, illuminating what has to be changed. Spirituality helps us to see that the germ from which all genuine transformations grow is our clear purpose. See yourself like a gardener, carefully planting the future you want to harvest and preparing every action. Then the conscious separation phase takes front stage. See that detachment is more of an art than a precise science. Try your ideas and feelings without connecting with them. Release your urge for control and believe the world is working in your best advantage. This process might show itself physically as an emotional problem when memories surface and need acceptance if one is to go on. Transformational acceptance forms the third mechanism. Here you let things be as they are without questioning, thereby embracing what it is. This acceptance releases us from the currents of the past and thus becomes a salve for the spirit. Consider how the river chews the stones in their natural state, surrounds them, learns to flow in harmony. At last, the application of rejuvenating appreciation finishes the cycle of change. The universe answers with a flood of good energy and fresh chances when appreciation becomes the normal condition of life. Whether little or large, daily identify something for which you may be thankful and see how it increases your vibration. For individuals who oppose and overlook these three procedures, the results can be as storms that refuse to pass. Emotional suffering never goes away, and the lessons are repeated. The spiritual road might get dry and useless without these corrections, but by greeting them, you connect with divine flow, find calm in the middle of turmoil, and discover that every farewell opens a new avenue for optimism. Then he realized that the core of these systems is the bravery to strip, so the light of the new could shine. And when we enter the following phase, maintain your resolve to use these techniques strong, as we will shortly discuss live tales that show and motivate this constant fact on your path. Every action we do always expires a fresh spiritual daybreak, a decision of living in love and divine purpose. Imagine now two pathways cut in the same world, each reflecting the choice made. On the one hand, we saw Anna gracefully crossing the path of acceptance. It lets your spirit go free through the journey of transformation and proudly welcomes divine truth. Anna experiences a tranquility beyond human comprehension. Their faith and inner knowledge feed and sustain their connections, which are like rivers of harmony. When the difficulties show up, they are more like waves rising it and carrying it to new heights than sink it. Then we have Paul, who clings to opposition and ignores the reality playing out around him. Paul's life is a battlefield, where he continuously battles against the natural flow of events until an internal storm of conflict and pain results. His perspective closes and he feels more and more cut off. Your relationships are rife with conflicts and tensions, much like a melody whose notes no longer line up. The tranquility that eludes makes every obstacle an unequaled stronghold. Anna's fleeting character helps her to overcome the strongest winds, thereby transforming her into a rejuvenated bird, like the eagle discussed as a sign of rebirth. Paul, meanwhile, recalls the tale of the wealthy young man who, heartbroken, could not give up everything he had to follow the Master. The distinction is a question of delivery and surrender to the divine. It is not something to describe with words. Then give some serious thought. Look inside and ask, which of these ways is mine? I have followed Anna's journey, accepting transformation as a blessing or holding me in Paul's illusions. Be aware that acceptance of this truth is a choice that each chosen makes alone, but that their consequences spread throughout all the dimensions of their life. What then would be your preferred option? Recall that your choice is to remain in the darkness or travel toward light. The fundamental lesson to keep is also that an awakened soul is one that chooses to go with the continuous stream of divine love and direction. Either prepared or not, the truth always finds its way. The bridges from one state to another will be shown in the following block, therefore delving even deeper into the changes. To show the scope of the divine farewell, consider two selected people whose actions force their paths to diverge even if they started in same conditions. First, we meet Clara, who welcomes the essence of farewell with understanding and trust. Clara views farewell as a welcome to the Renaissance, not as a loss. His path is dotted with periods of introspection and self-acceptance, wherein every choice to let go advances real freedom. Since her connections flourish in integrity and respect, Clara feels great calm and satisfaction. Their difficulties seem like chances to go closer to their spiritual goal. Lucas, on the other hand, avoids farewell as if it were a terror shadow. Even if these things do not contribute to their development, Luke objects to change and sticks to what is known. His existence thereafter turns into an ongoing struggle against the universe's movement. He appears often in states of inertia. His relationships suffer, and the goal seems to elude even further from his grasp. The adjustments he worries about become more and more difficult, usually impossible. See this contradiction in the tale of the prodigal son. Clearly personifies this metamorphosis of life, much as the son who comes back to the father's home realizes he must change and embrace forgiveness. Conversely, Luke is like the son who would stay far off and reject the chance to come to terms with his own self. Now, I would like you to consider deeply which of these routes you find yourself on right now. Are you letting farewell open doors to fresh beginnings, as Clara is doing? Alternatively, are you on Lucas's road, where resistance fuels suffering cycles? Though personal, the decision has ramifications that beyond its lifetime. Keep in mind, too, that the decisions you make now will define the state of your soul and the course of your spirit. Should this message move you, realize that it is now your chance to announce your path. Write in the comments, "I answer my call." This little act promises the universe that you are ready for transformation. As we go, realize that the revelation of today is just a component of a greater scheme. Stay tuned. In the future, we will unveil further secrets and riddles waiting to be discovered to those who pursue honesty and loyalty. Thus selected, his path continues on, and with her the chance not only to know, but also to change. Every farewell should turn into a magnificent welcome for what really counts. Truth shown to you, therefore, should not stay simply in the field of consciousness. She calls for action. This is the time when information has to become behavior, when words become motions determining destiny. Clearly, the theory without implementation is like a boat without oars. For those selected who dare to act, the portals of spiritual development open with glory. Keep your essence, but realize that only those who suggest to go from their current will really find the freedom the spirit longs for. Let me walk you through 3 basic stages and spiritual practices that will help you to link knowledge with experience. First, the lit meditation exercise. Create a calm area with a gentle light and concentrate on a clear intention. Let heavenly energy into your heart. See a golden light encompassing your existence, motivating life and release of any weight or gloom. Spend 15 minutes every day, ideally at dawn, to determine the tone of your day with calm and clarity by means of this meditation. Second, the exercise of deliberate thankfulness. Every day, jot 5 items of gratitude in a notepad. Let's say they need little pleasures like the heat of the sun or the unanticipated compassion instead than perfection. Feel strongly the real feeling each gratitude offers, and let's nourish your spirit. This helps one to open doors to fresh benefits by matching their energy with the cosmic flow. Third, at the conclusion, I suggest the harmonic prayer. Set aside a quiet time before bed and pray aloud, asking the divine to bring everything that resides in you, body, mind, and soul, into harmony. To embrace changes and bravery to meet obstacles, seek knowledge. Feel how this prayer envelops you in a garment of peace. Ready your soul for yet another day of development. I also dare you, schedule a time to become silent for 20 to 24 hours. Consider your path and really pay attention to what your heart has to say. Note the arising feelings. This exercise will help him to have an acute awareness that will enhance the link between his spiritual and everyday self. Remember that resistances are normal even if the root of change might present difficulties. Let us demystify. The mind likes what is familiar, but it does not let you allow yourself to undermine with justifications when the road is unknown. Every bridge crossing offers fresh opportunities for education and development. Time is now to raise, use this knowledge, and watch the spirit world unveil itself with a depth never imaginable. Dear Selected, I tell you with certainty, what you do with this truth will define your journey from now on. The call was made. You will answer. Wait, the metamorphosis is only waiting for the next time. Once one reaches this stage of revelation and self-discovery, acquired knowledge must become actual behavior. The divine farewell is an attitude to be lived in your totality, not just a concept to consider. Recall that only individuals who are ready to integrate these facts into their daily lives can really realize the spiritual development they are yearning. Here are 3 spiritual exercises designed to help you on this road, arranged to balance your energy and deepen your relationship with the divine. Sattar 1. Renaissance Morning Ceremonial. Why it works. This routine gets your mind and spirit ready for a whole day of deliberate attention. How to implement it. When you wake up, locate a quiet area free of clutter where you might comfortably seat. If at all feasible, light a candle as a metaphor of fresh illumination in your life. Breathe deeply a few times, then deliberately and with attention. With every inspiration, see light and serenity entering your being. With each expiration, see any resistance or fear released. Daily statement. Proclaim something that speaks to your path, like, I am open to the new and I receive the blessings of the day with grace. Starting the day with this routine helps you to match the energy of openness and rejuvenation. This fosters a more strong spirit and a better perspective. Second exercise for emotional liberation. Why it works. This habit helps to release emotional bonds, stopping development and mobility. How to implement it. Choose a place where you might talk freely without interruption. This is your safe place. Think about a connection or circumstance you must release. Name and release. Talk consciously about it, as if I were releasing the weight. Finish with, I set you free and break free. I'm ready for new experiences. Feeling the freedom is important. This technique relieves the emotional load by encouraging deliberate separation and opening the path for fresh possibilities. Third evening, thankfulness and introspection. Why it works. Gratitude increases spiritual vibration, therefore encouraging calm and satisfaction before sleep. How to implement it. Before bed, list 3 daily events for which you are glad in a journal. Short intro. Consider how you reacted to your life today and what may have differed tomorrow. Thank the cosmos quietly for the chances and teachings of the day. Practice increases awareness and stimulates a favorable cycle of receipt and giving, therefore benefiting you. Apart from these routines, I challenge you spiritually for the next 24 hours. Schedule a time for outside meditation. Under the heavens, notice the grandeur and let yourself to feel part of the whole. What am I ready to let go? you can ask yourself. This simple yet powerful experience might inspire major discoveries. Though attempt to keep you on the old standards, know that resistance might develop and tackle it with will. Natural soreness like this indicates development. Those who keep on are shining in the light of the actual awakening. Now your time is here. What you do with this truth will define your journey from now on. The call was made. You will answer. This is your chance to start your transformation now with courage and intention. Then, selected, go for the route will present itself in elegance and beauty. Selected, you have traveled a great distance where we expose farewell as a necessary component of spiritual development. We underline once again that accepting this reality is a big step towards your development. But keep in mind that this is just a stage of the vast journey your spiritual life is about. Every fresh insight lets even more doors leading to infinity. Remember that the basis of your existence is accepting and living your truth as we consider everything that has been presented. So I ask, open heart, since you know the truth, what will you do for her? At this moment, your decision dictates not just your path, but also the parameters of your life. I want them to openly dedicate themselves to this road. Should this message speak to you, write, I answer my call, in the video's comments here. This action is a message to the universe that you are ready to go with faith and will, not just a digital one. I wish to combine them in a strong prayer before we call to finish. May God illuminate your path, strengthen your spirit, and open your eyes to the realities buried. Following the road meant for you should help you to discover clarity, strength, and direction. Welcome. Furthermore, keep in mind that today's disclosure marks just the beginning. More has to be explored. Get ready, as in the following video we will discuss a reality that may transform everything, a secret kept under protection that yearns to be shared with those seeking with their hearts. Know that your trip is exactly planned before you go. To make sure you do not lose anything vital for your spiritual growth, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. You travel with us on this road of development. You do not go alone. Thus, let this moment represent baseless bravery and will. His approach began, and he is very outstanding. Follow in peace, lighted by the love and divine illumination, till our next rendezvous. See you soon. Allow sovereign peace to always accompany you.